Vikings. Well, Jimmy, old boy, it's good to be back. Tigers had a little bit of catching up to do, I understand, taking a tough loss last week to the Montpelier Locomotives. However, sometimes out of the ashes of being down and out, sometimes rises from those ashes a team that's even tougher and stronger than ever. You saw the game. What do you think Liberty Center needs to turn around tonight?
No question, Spike. Tigers did a lot of things right last week. They actually doubled the time of possession against the Locomotives. They doubled the total yards. They just actually couldn't have performed better except for a few turnovers, and those turnovers were costly. Twice they drove the field and came away not only empty but turning the ball over and thereby perhaps lost a little momentum. They did allow some passing yardage, but ultimately it was the turnovers that were costly and couldn't have been overcome. The overtime period came, and everybody knows, well, Montpelier scored right away, and then Liberty got their score in, and we elected to go for two. You got to love the roll of the dice there, you know, no kick, and our kicker was a little bit nicked up, so that was a good plan, but it just fell short, and well, that was it. Yeah. Tigers had won 11 in a row, the last 11 there against the Locomotives, but it wasn't to be over at Montpelier last week.
All right, enough about that. That's past history, post-mortem. We don't need it. We're moving on. Tonight, Evergreen picked in the preseason polls as high as third in the coaches NWOAL meeting. And that was the whole gist of the meeting, the balanced league between third and eighth. They figured it was pretty much a toss-up. So Evergreen last week played Delta, lost 37-13, but Delta scored 3 times in the fourth period. So when you subtract that out of there, that's a rock'em sock'em type ball game. Yeah. Liberty Center, on the other hand, with their toughie. But this is Liberty Center. Tigers are at home, and I believe they're ready to put everything right back up on the kitchen cupboard, right where it was before, and get back to their winning ways. For Liberty Center, starting tonight for the defense, with Liberty Center kicking off, Tigers will have number 57, Chad McClory at nose guard. Honaki, number 77 at weak safety, and Quigley out there at the strong, he's weak safety, weak tackle, you might say, on the weak side. Quigley, defensive end on the other side. Linebackers will be, Slee will be the roll linebacker, Perchlick, the other inside guy. Strong side backer, Hesterman, number 84. Perchlick, 64, by the way. And Weaker's outside, the X-backer, they call him, number 54. He'll be on the outside. Defensive backfield, the cornerbacks. Damian Mays, number 7. Number 24, Dan Irving, the other cornerback. And then number 3, Derek Hefflinger at one safety. And number 27, Joe Bodenbender, the other safety. Here we go. All right, kickoff. Short, taken there at about the 17-yard line. Return up the left side. And finally hauling down at about the 37-yard line, we got Damian Mays in there along with Hefflinger. Hefflinger and also number
Perchlick,
64, Perchlick.
Yeah, Spike, talking a little bit about Evergreen and Delta last week. That score was 16-14 in the third quarter. So Delta played, or the Vikings played Delta tough.
All right, Tigers showing at 3-man front with extended defensive ends. Get straight up the middle. Hit right there, brought down. No gain on the play. Oh, boy, Jim.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either. 57, I thought, wasn't it? Is he out there? Chad McClory.
Yeah, Chad McClory is the nose guard. Well, no gain on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Tigers defense sets up. Now they show a 3-man line. The defensive ends step up. The linebackers step up, so the Tigers show an 8 in the box. Fumble pitch. Ball's loose on the field.
All kinds of Tigers
and
on
the
it.
Tigers signal they got it. We're going to wait and see.
Yeah, that was the signal.
Holy center takes over on a fumble in the backfield. I didn't see who recovered it.
No, there was at least, okay, the word is Hesterman.
Hesterman.
Yeah, but there looked like about 4 black shirts right there all over that ball, and you just love to see that. They were in the backfield, and that's how she worked out, Spike.
Yeah, well, right away they went to a little pitch game, you know, and pitching it out wide. Sometimes maybe it's better just to get the handle of the ball a few times with straight handoffs, but Evergreen coughs it up. Tigers take over at Evergreen's 36-yard line. Hefflinger in motion. Here's the give to Slee. Slee breaks one tackle, dives and pounds straight ahead inside the 30-yard line and down to the 29.
Spike, the Vikings kind of prefer a 4-4 defense. And if they stick to that plan, we should be able to run against that.
Well, I would think so, especially if the assignments are covered as far as going out and getting that extra linebacker. All right, we're going to call it that gain of 5. And now we've got a timeout on the field. I think something minor here. All right, Danny Irving, number 24, split out wide to this side. Evan Tiplady, the quarterback, the center. Brandon Stacy, number 62. Now Sager in motion. Rolling this way, Tiplady has time, turns it up, and gets back to just about back to the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit. That'll bring up 3rd down, and we'll call it 6 now, loss of a yard. Well, Tiplady makes it a little tougher running against his throwing arm side, but Evergreen with good defense downfield. So with 10:15 to go here in the first period, Liberty Center with a 3rd and 6. We're in 4-down territory on the Evergreen 36. Here is the give straight ahead to Slee. Slee's got running room. Hit and battles forward. He's going to be short, but it's going to be very close. We'll call it about 1.5 yards. That time Slee ran off the left side behind Weekers, number 54. And Quigley, the tight end on that side. Also Honacki, the tackle on that side. Tigers come to the line of scrimmage. 4th and 1 here in the first period. Tigers line up with a double back set. Here's the give to Slee. A lot of running room. He's got 1st down yardage and more. Down inside the 20-yard line to the 19. A gain of about 7 yards.
Yeah, Evergreen pretty close on the line of scrimmage there, Spike, and some real good initial blocking right there on that Tiger left side. And, man, they just about broke that right open.
Yeah, they've run that play 3 times and picked up good yardage. Or is it 4 times and good yardage 3? Now the Tigers change to a double wing set. Hefflinger in motion to the short side. Here's the give to Hefflinger. Looking for a place to cut it up. Nothing there. No gain on the play. Good call, but that time Evergreen was able to get out there and string it out on this run to the short side of the field.
Yeah, the tackler came from the linebacker spot on middle of their defense there, Spike, and it just wasn't a play to get him blocked. He just sort of sniffed that out. Otherwise, there were some blocks over here which would have given Hefflinger just a little room.
All right. Perchlik, guard on the right side. Phil Miller, the tackle on that side. And Hesterman, the tight end on that side. Here's a deep pitch. Slee with running room. Cuts it outside. And down to the 10-yard line. A gain of 9 yards, and the Tigers are going to be looking at 3rd and very short.
Yep, Ryan Sager trying to pin that defensive end wide. Hard to get a helmet on him, but sure scared him out of the area, which is all you need to do. You know, a block isn't always contact. A block can be a screen.
Oh, absolutely. And, Tigers had a couple of good-looking shots there.
Yeah.
All right, now we've got Hefflinger wing to the wide side, the right side of the field, comes back in motion to the short side, give to Slee. Slee literally breaks a tackle and bursts inside the 10-yard line, and that's going to be enough for another Tiger 1st down.
All right, pretty heavy going in there. Seth Weekers making a good trap block, it appeared, right up there close, Spike.
Yep. Well, that's that side with Weekers at guard, Honacki at tackle, and Quigley the tight end. Tigers have pounded that left side, the left defensive side so far, Jim, several times in a row.
Well, they're just walking right down through the Vikings.
All right, now Hefflinger lines up the other way and goes in motion far side. Gives straight ahead. Slee, he's got room. He breaks one tackle. He's got the end zone. It's a Tiger touchdown. It's a Tiger touchdown right here in the first quarter. Tigers are barking loud now.
Oh, how sweet it is, Spike. I mean, they came out here wearing their black uniform and, capitalized on a turnover on the Evergreen 36-yard line and just basically ran it down their throats, if you will.
All right, now the snapper, I believe, is Bush. The holder, Hefflinger. Smith, the kicker, the shot, it's up, it spins, and it's dead inside the upright, baby. 7-0 Liberty Center. Oh, Jimmy, the one thing I really liked on that series, the Tigers pounded the living crap right out of the Evergreen Viking front four, and the linebackers weren't getting to their spots. The Tigers with good downfield blocking in the short range, and Slee simply pounded and pounded and pounded, and this Tiger team comes out, and as they were called earlier, they are going to be a relentless team. And if this is any indication of what goes on the rest of this NWAL season, then somebody better look out.
Well, that was a drive. Could not have been scripted any better, Spike, but it was execution by the Tiger offense. And, a team on a mission. They're going to get on that board. We have an opportunity, and they did exactly that.
All right, why don't we get a few sponsors here while we get things rammed up. First of all, the Porch Coach is back in strength, as strong as ever.
We need him.
Yep.
We need him.
Rick Miller, the president. Mike Mann, vice president. Dave Moeller, the secretary-treasurer. Jeff Spangler, sergeant-at-arms. Louis Miller, chaplain. Chris Zacharias, Danny Brown, Terry Bowers, Jeff Huff, Ronnie Hoover, Matt Aid, Dave Silvis, Rob Shaddy, Kevin Moeller, and I'm sure there's more, Jimmy, but that's what all I got right here.
That sounds like a pretty explosive group.
Oh,
Spike.
yeah,
I mean,
Jimmy. Slightly opinionated, but very much on top. But they're the main squeeze of the Tiger athletic backers. All right, to go with that, we've got Dave's Auto Service with Dave Perry, the Tiger Shop with Bob and Julie Shaddy, Holgate Metal Fab, Jeff and Todd Spangler, and here's the Evan Tiplady bounding kick. Picked up there at the 35-yard line and tackled with his helmet knocked off. We've got a number 57 on that one. Yep, 57, the nose guard. Chad McCoy,
yeah. Well, kind of a rough-to-handle kick, and the Tigers did a little bit of that last week. I think that's kind of scripted that way, Spike. They're trying to get something to happen and keep it out of their backs, hands way back. But does set the Vikings up with good field position.
Well, it took a candy hop. If that thing takes any other kind of a hop, hey, it's going to be a lot different. And, of course, one more sponsor we'll squeeze in here is none other than KK Collision with Kyle Kern. All right, now on to the field at nose guard is 58. Yep, number 58, Philip Miller.
Yeah, Philip Miller out there.
All right, Evergreen with a wide out to the far side. Tigers with man defense, man in motion. Gibb coming back the other way, and a lot of running room. Pickup of about 7 for Evergreen.
Tate Slee in there.
8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Liberty Center leads it 7-0.
Yeah, Tate Slee and Damian Mays on that tackle, but a good gain for the Vikings there.
Yeah, Damian Mays, not what you would call a big football player, 5'7", 140 pounds, but I tell you what, buddy, the kid's tough. He's tougher than 210-pounders. All right, right out to the short side of the field. Man in motion coming this way for Evergreen. Give to the fullback, and a tackle broken. Running room up the sideline. They're over midfield.
Yeah, Damian Mays crowded him out up here to the 35-yard line, but it is enough for a first down.
Well, the Tigers' defense has been definitely their strong point in the first 2 games, only giving up 2 touchdowns in regulation, and, of course, the overtime Montpelier score. But Evergreen with a little momentum now. They trail 7-0, and perhaps this is for Evergreen a make-or-break time. Here is the give. Oh, little running room. Several Tigers surround that.
Slee gets a piece of him right there early, and also Joe Goldenbender out there got a hunk of him too. Spike, it's been written and much said over the radio and so forth about the Tigers being extremely young this year. They start a lot of sophomores, and that's not a regular pattern.
Oh, no, and returning letterman is another spot where you can see the Tigers just don't have that many returning lettermen, period.
Yep, so they've got
a small handful.
They've got to get her done game by game here.
All right, little option, nothing there, and the Tigers, Hesterman takes him head on. Gain him a couple, but that's going to be awful close to a first down. It'll be third and very short, less than a yard for Evergreen, and in Liberty Center's territory on the 26-yard line. Evergreen, pretty much a running team. They will throw the football. That time, they're trying to keep it spread out, keep it wide open. That time with a little bit of option inside the wing offense. Wide out to this side, man in motion to this short side. Give to the fullback, dances outside, finally met there, and brought down.
I think Damian Mays down under there too.
Again. Yeah, Mays, I think you're right, Jim, on the hit there, but enough for Evergreen. First down.
You were mentioning before Damian plays with a lot of heart. Well, the program's got him down at 5'7" and 140-pounder. One of those super sophomores the Tiger has. And I'm telling you, he gives away pounds wherever he goes. But somehow he gets it done, and he's just going to get better right along.
Yeah. All right, now Liberty Center shows a three-man front. Now they resituate.
Irving and Mays outside coverage here.
Yeah, Tiger shows 7 men up. Pitch to the motion man, and running room to the outside, and he's going to go in for an Evergreen toss. Oh, we got a flag on the play.
Boy, that came across pretty late there. I have no idea what they saw, but...
I only saw Evergreen bodies in where the flag was thrown. So Evergreen initially romps in from 24 yards out, but a holding call.
Wow, that's one of those yellow flags that wasn't so smelly, Spike. We're taking that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
A 24-yard touchdown burst off the left side, wiped out by a holding penalty.
Yep. That Evergreen back showed excellent speed there. He had a hole over there, and I'm telling you, he didn't take his time getting through there, Spike. He just kicked her in and was gone.
Well, and I think where the hold may have come, Weaker's number 54 looked like he had a shot at getting him, and all of a sudden got slowed down in his pursuit angle from his linebacker spot.
Yeah, looked like he got turned around.
Yeah.
That he wasn't faced quite right, comfortable with his feet. And again, he turned around. The guy was way past him.
All right, now they're going to mark it first down at the 25-yard line from the spot of the foul. Oh, met right there. Tate Slee with help from a lot of friends. No gain on the play. Smackarino.
Yeah, they had a little success running that left side. Of course, the touchdown that was called back, but even previous to that, they did fairly well there. But Tigers make some adjustments, and I see a little different defensive scheme here as we're looking on by the Tigers, Spike.
Well, they line up in a 3-4-4, but then they'll sometimes be a 3-5. Sometimes they'll put a couple more guys up on the line of scrimmage. And the idea is to keep the offense guessing as to where they're going to be coming from. A little bit of play action. That's knocked down right away. Incomplete. Tate Slee somewhere in the middle of that one, too.
Also, Seth Weaker's right there. I mean, there just was no place to get that ball in there.
All right, Evergreen now in 4-down territory. They've got a 3rd down and 11 from the 25-yard line. 5:21 here remaining in the first period. Liberty Center 7, Evergreen 0. All right, Tigers defensive back spread out across the field. A wide out to the far side of the field for Evergreen. Man in motion this way. Fake to the man in motion, straight drop. He's going to throw the home run ball upfield. It is picked off. It's picked off, and Damian Mays wisely downs it in the end zone. So the Liberty Center defense finds a way to take it away from the Evergreen Vikings.
Tigers had 4 defenders back there, Spike. I mean, he couldn't have been covered any more ways than whatever. In fact, there was contact but that's okay. Everybody's got a right to their piece of turf out there. No way that pass could ever be completed except perhaps to a Tiger. Now, Damian Mays, being a sophomore, showed excellent judgment. I'll take a knee. We'll get her on to 20. We're fine.
Yeah, right. I'll take that with an interception in the end zone any day. And like you said, Tigers with great coverage.
Yeah.
They simply had him blanketed, and with 2 officials down there in the end zone, Tigers were in good shape.
Exactly.
All right, double wing set with Sager and Hefflinger. Slee the lone setback. Sager in motion to the other way. Give to Slee right side. Slee breaks one, sifts through another, and fights his way up near the 25-yard line for a gain of about 3 on the play.
Yeah. Good punishing run there by Tate Slee. We saw a lot of that in the first 2 weeks of the season here, Spike, and he's at it again. If he gets just a couple steps through that line of scrimmage, he is one tough guy to tackle.
Well, that time running behind Phil Miller, number 58, Yesterman 84, and Perchlik number 64.
Yeah, that Tiger right side.
All right, we got a timeout down on the field. Why don't we catch some more sponsors, Jimmy, while we got a little bit of time? We've got a new one on board now with us. We've got Bob Miller in the Railside Market. Meat, cheese, and more. You've all heard of Bob and his great selections.
I've eaten some of that stuff, Spike.
Oh, yeah.
It's all good, and it's a good, friendly place to get something like that.
Oh, absolutely, and he's got a lot of knick-knack goods. You know, he carries a complete line of Troyer Amish food and cheese, all from Holmes County. And for Bob, it's kind of the headline is come in for a taste of Amish. All right, now a few more while the Tigers get reset. We've got the Henry County Bank with Bill Wendt, locations throughout the county, now featuring free checking, and Swanton Welding with Ryan Norm and Norm Zeider. So the Tigers come out, 2nd down and 7, 4:54 here in the first period. Here is the give to Sager coming around this other side. That one didn't fool anybody. Or was it Slee?
I didn't catch the ball carrier. I was watching the line of scrimmage there where it was pretty ferocious on that Tiger left side. Tom Fry says Sager was the ball carrier.
All right, Sager was the ball carrier. We had it. See, normally, you know, you're going to key on Slee, and sometimes you can catch him off guard coming the other way, but that time, Evergreen, true to tough form, they bottled that up, so now it brings up 3rd and 8 for Liberty Center, 4:20, clock running. First period. Double running back. Here's the fake to Slee. Now under pressure is Tiplady. Tiplady breaks the tackle, stays on his feet, picks up about 5 or 6 more scuff yards, and now out of bounds, clock stops. A gallant effort by Evan Tiplady, the elusive quarterback for the Tigers.
Yes, he's fairly quick of foot, Spike. He can motor around and cause a lot of people to miss. He's kind of deceptively fast and sure-handed. He hangs on that ball and can throw a strike, as we know from the first 2 weeks.
All right, back in punt formation for Liberty Center, number 88, Adam Quigley. Good snap. And a low line drive, end-over-end punt taken there at the 45-yard line. Cuts around the outside. Damian Mays now, and Slee finally home him in.
Yeah, Damian Mays there drove him out of bounds hard. They're kind of hollering about that, but he was in bounds until contact, and that's just all part of it, Spike.
Yep. Well, not very good net yardage here. Evergreen with a great opportunity here, as they're going to be lining up on Liberty Center's 31-yard line. The Tigers punted from the around the 25. So a 30-yard punt and a return of about 24 yards, we'll call it. So Evergreen with a 1st and 10, Tiger 31. Wide out to the far side, double wing set. Here is the give to the fullback. And hanging on for dear life and bringing him down, Chad McClory, number 57.
Yeah, it's Seth Weekers right there, too. Both the guys had him by a fingernail, and that's all it took. Getting back to that punting situation by the Tigers, Quigley didn't get much air under that ball, Spike, and that sometimes sets up a fairly quick return.
Yep.
Boy, just good if he got some height on that. But anyway, Tiger defense has got to stiffen up here.
All right, Evergreen once again with the double wing set, wide out to the wide side, the far side of the field. Tigers with Irving over there in coverage. Under pressure, gets out of that, and Chad met right there by Chad McCoy again. Get him maybe a inch or two on the play. Smackarino again.
That's pretty good linebacker work there. He stayed home, stayed where he should be, and he just was watching, well, what's going on? All of a sudden, here comes the quarterback, and nice collision.
You know, and good blocking scheme up front from Evergreen, but the Tiger defense, so let's go right back to that good old-fashioned word, relentless. And now that forces a 3rd down and 9 at the 30-yard line.
Well, these guys not having a lot of experience, you know, they're learning how to play with each other and what their assignments are.
All right, now the single wing to the left side. Give to the second back, coming off the left side, running room. Uh-oh. Oh, my. Bodenbender, finally the last man there, down around the 15, brings him down, but not until Evergreen comes up with about a 17-yard gain for a 1st and 10.
Derek Heffliner coming up from his position had a pretty good crack at him, but just about time he was ready to make the play, here come a block on him.
Yep.
So you got to tip your hat to the Evergreen blocking scheme on that particular play, Spike.
All right. Irving out there, single coverage out on the wide out on the far sideline. Double wing set, lone setback, nobody in motion. Long count. Here is the give coming the right side, and that's go. Oh, he breaks the tackle. Tigers good pursuit. Quigley there to slow him down, and Hesterman to finally blow him back about 4 more yards.
Oh, that had to heat up on the quarterback because he's making an all-out effort this way, and he cuts this way, and then he spins back the other way, and here's more of those black after.
Oh, baby, a loss of 10 yards on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 25. The ball back at the 20, just outside the 25-yard line. Well, now Evergreen is going to have a tough time picking up a 1st down. They've only got about 5 yards to play with there. So they pretty much now have to think about going uptown to get the score.
I think that's probably a good thought there, Spike. They're going to probably put it in the air.
All right, man in motion, gives straight ahead. Oh, my. Oh, my. Well, so much for that. Evergreen scores. They simply ran it up inside, cut to the outside, had a lane into the end zone, and now the score stands Liberty Center 7, Evergreen 6, 1:18 to go, 1st period.
Yeah, that was a play, Spike, wherein they didn't have any whiteout, so the Tigers played up pretty tight to the line of scrimmage, just anxious to put a hurt on him again, and he popped through there, and boy, just wasn't anybody in his resistance, and away he goes.
Good, we've got a tie game. Wow. Well, let's get some sponsors here while Tigers catch their breath and try to regroup. We've got the Dugout with Steve and Catherine Parasini. Hill Asphalt Paving with Randy Hill. Also, Megan Irving representing Wells Bowen Realtors in Napoleon. We got Truckers Paradise with Lynn and Jerry Ripke. Jerry sponsoring her 57 kinds of wonderful homemade pies. Open 5 a.m. to 6 at night. We've got the Skybank in Liberty Center. Pisanello's Pizza, home of the slice of pizza to go for $1 with Craig and Sherry Myers. They feature their twice-a-day buffet from 11 to 2 and 4 to 8. Also, one of the originals, Speece Trailer Court with Rick Speece. B.A. Miller & Sons Trucking with Norma Miller and the Miller family. L.R. Babcock Plumbing and Heating with Bill Tiplady, Dan and Francis Brown. Davis Farm Services in Delta and Liberty Center with Kelly and Todd Bodenbender, Karen Howell, and Kurt Davis. Also the Liberty Center Consulting Group with Mark and Jody Bly. Schaefer Truck and RV Sales and Rentals with Terry and Todd Schaefer out between Delta and Liberty Center. Miller Brothers Trucking in Napoleon with old Tiger running back Skip Miller. Eon Industries with Judy Leininger and Dawn Bender, and Mitchell Farm Equipment with Tom Pat Barba and Mike Mitchell. All right, little short pooch kick. In trouble, but followed on there, and
77, Joe Honacki.
Yep, and covered up by Phil Miller for protection, and so Liberty Center now gets the same kind of field position that Evergreen was more or less awarded, and we'll see if the Tigers now can't turn that into some kind of a score. Jim, the one thing I didn't like was that although the Tigers played pretty good defense here, Evergreen was able to move the ball on the ground, something that Montpelier and Tenora really wasn't able to do.
Yeah, it almost appears as though Evergreen's got some real speed when they need it. You know, in the preseason poll, they were picked up there near the top. They have experience back. They have a big, strong line as we're looking at them out there.
Yep, 17 returning lettermen for Evergreen. Oh, now we've got some more whistles. And we're going to have an Evergreen timeout on defense. All right, let's wrap up some more of these sponsors. We've got Meyer Badenhop Insurance Agency with Glenn in the Napoleon office, Bob and Marge Jurassics in Liberty Center. Special sponsors, Ken and Robin Carpenter, the Liberty Center Athletic Booster Club, and who could possibly forget John Slago and the memory of his close buddy Donnie Sharp. Donnie, the champion of those stinking, rotten, no good yellow flags. We'll be back after the timeout. Here they go, 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line, 1:19 to go, first period. Evan Tiplady now with time, throws upfield. Oh, just over the head of the leaping Derek Hefflinger. Hefflinger open.
Flag. They're going to call.
Ow! Ow, 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 ow.
They're blocking pass protection for Tiplady back there. And some
maybe
official didn't like the way that block was administered. I might mention that in the 36 years these Evergreen Vikings and Liberty Tigers have been battling each other, the Tigers have an advantage of 25 wins and 11 losses.
Well, good advantage there, but tonight maybe we're setting a little bit different. All right, a little discrepancy. Now they get everything lined up. Tigers are going to be penalized 15 yards from the spot of the foul. So now Liberty Center looking at a 1st and 24 all the way back to the 27. Slee and Sager, setbacks. Here is the give straight ahead to Slee. Oh, no, wait a minute.
Reverse. Yeah.
Excuse me, a wing-back reverse.
Right.
And the Tigers pick up 15 yards. Holy moly, Jimmy. Caught the fake there on the fake Slee.
Yeah.
And they simply waited for
Hefflinger.
Derek Hefflinger, number 3, to come around from his long, his far wingback position on the right. And boy, Jimmy, that's a big play.
It is, and it almost didn't get going. I mean, right there at the line of scrimmage after all that razzle-dazzle, there was an Evergreen guy, but Hefflinger able to get around him, and as you say, a 15-yard gain.
All right, Slee the fullback, Sager the halfback on the other side, wingback over here, Hefflinger. Here's the give to
Sager.
Sager right away. Not much chance there. Pick up maybe a yard, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 9 just inside, or just at the 40-yard line. So we're going to call it a 3rd and 10. No on the play. Jimmy, clock may run out here in the first period. But 7-7 tie. Tigers got to find a way to generate a little more offense.
Oh, yeah. They're pretty ferocious right now on the line of scrimmage there, Spike.
Tigers come to the line. Clock running down. 2-1. They get the play off. Tiplady rolling. Has time.
First down.
And it's good for a Tiger first down. Just over midfield. Tiger ball there. He sprinted. It's Tiger North.
Well, you got to love that reception there. Hefflinger was in the open. He ran a nice pattern, and he caught the ball first, knowing full well it was going to get clobbered because Evergreen was closing fast. But, yeah, but if they measure, we got it, Spike. We got it if they measure.
I don't think so, Jimmy. I think we're going to be about the nose of the football to the white stripe short of the first down. And I do not agree with that spot whatsoever. Wait a minute. Now, this is a little closer than I thought. At first, I thought they had the ball spotted right directly on top of the 50-yard line.
Well, they gave it to us, didn't it?
No?
Oh, that's right. They got to switch it because of the corner. That's what they're doing. Yeah, it's short by about a foot and a half.
Tigers going for it. Give to Slee. Slee driving. If they give him his forward progress, he got it. But they're not going to give it to him. Jimmy, I swear he was over the 50-yard line. Oh, no. 2 bad spots in a row. Come on, Lord, do something. Yeah, and you've got to measure it, Spike. You make on 2.
after that first contact, it kind of drove him back and neutralized him, and he was able to break that plate. You know, he needed about a strong foot and a half.
Yeah, I was sure he was a good 2 feet across the 50-yard line. Well, all right.
We'll have to get ready to play some rock'em sock'em defense again, and the ball is just dead even in the middle of the field here. So, we'll resume the struggle, Mike, right in front of us.
All right, Evergreen with good field position, right at the midfield stripe. Tigers appear to be the ones that broke the neutral zone, and that is the call. So that'll set up a 1st and 5. Well, when you're young, you're trying to grow up in a hurry. You know, you've got to battle through these tough situations, and that indeed a tough call.
Down at 5 for the Vikings.
Chad McClory back at nose tackle for Liberty Center. Here is motion coming this way. Here is the pitch to the motion man. Uh-oh, they cut it up.
Yeah, there was a hold out here.
Okay.
There was a hold out here. That was pretty apparent, so they all marked it back.
Wheater's out there to finally haul him down after about a 10-yard gain with help from Tate Sleeve, but holding on Evergreen, and that'll move them back, I think, a little behind the original line of scrimmage. So a Tiger encroachment penalty and then a holding penalty on Evergreen, and the Vikings are going to wind up losing about 3 or 4 yards in the process. So 11:50 to go here. We're just barely into the second quarter. Tigers got a good field position off an Evergreen fumble. They take it into score, and then Evergreen now advancing. We got a 7-7-5. Motion to the far side. Another fumble. And the Tigers all over that right away. That'll bring up second down for Evergreen on the fumbled snap by the quarterback. That'll put the ball back at the 46-yard line. Second down, 14 to go.
Yeah, you appreciate a burden play like that. You might as well give the defense credit for it. Somehow or other, the pressure on the interior there was great enough that either the quarterback backed out pretty quick when the center didn't get it up there. It didn't rate. That's tough defense.
I think the ball appeared to be there. The quarterback may be, a little jittery. First year quarterback. All right, wide out to the far side, wide out to the short side of the field. Single set back, wing motion to the far side. Give to the first back through. Not much there at all. The Tigers bottle that up in a hurry.
Yeah, a host of them there. 64, we're going to give Bertzlick in there. Bertzlick and some of his friends. Quigley also in there.
Mr. Blitzkrieg, number 9, Jordan Purdue, slipping into the Tiger lineup. Purdue from an outside linebacker spot, very treacherous here. He's picked up a few sacks already in the season. Now he flip-flops, goes to the other side of the field. Double wide out to the far side for the Vikings. Tigers show a 5-man front by the goal. Pressure from Hesterman, but not catching up. Time to throw upfield. Ball caught. And it's going to be short of a first down. Gain of about, we'll call it 10 on the play.
Heflin right there. Great coverage. Stuck him exactly where that ball was coming in there, but a strike by the Evergreen quarterback. It's still fourth down and 2, Spike.
Oh boy, big down here.
I kind of wonder if maybe they won't get a foot in it. Try to pin the Tigers back on the goal line a little bit.
9:37 to go. 4th and 2 for the Vikings. They need to get the ball just over the nosy ball just over the 40-yard line. 7-7-5. Lining up, quick snap. They go now, rolling out, thrown caught out there, wide open. Running room, hitting head on, and brought down in the open field. A good tackle by Danny Irving, number 24.
Now that was a well thought out play. Quarterback rolling off there. He didn't know whether he was going to turn it up or what. And, there just wasn't anybody covering that man right there in the flat, Spike. Drilled her in there. It was a good catch and moves the sticks for the Vikings.
Well, the Tigers have been resourceful on defense. They've forced a fumble and they've had an interception, but Evergreen knocking on the door again. Ball at the 27-yard line of the Tigers. Man in motion this way, gives it a fullback. running room. And tripped up there by Irving. Got Hefflinger, excuse me. Derek Hefflinger knifing through, about a gain of about 6 on the play.
You know, when the defense is called, the play is called, that you have opportunity tonight too there. It's just good if you can make some contact. You're almost coming out of control, but he was able to get his arms wide and was able to kind of trip him up and got a little help from his friends there.
Now, the offensive line for Evergreen
Is big and strong.
big and strong, and I think that is one reason we've got
Big, strong, and experienced.
Yep.
Right?
Second down and a long 4 to go, ball on the 21-yard line. Here again, second back through, scissoring, knifing, Hefflinger hitting with help from
24, Irving finally
got Irving and Slee, but enough for another Evergreen first down. Ball on the 14-yard line, and the Tigers will call a timeout. 8:19 to go here in the second quarter. Liberty Center 7, Evergreen 7, but Evergreen on the march. Evergreen now keeping their formation rather tight. Wing back set to the right. Tigers with everybody up within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Give to the fullback. Hit. Spins away from that. Met there by several Tigers. We've got Bonebender, Weaver, Lee, all in on the hit.
Yep. McClory.
Yep. And also number 77.
McClory had a hand on him just about behind the line of scrimmage fighting a block off. And that's what these Tigers are having to do. Spike, the Vikings are putting some good blocks on us there. And the Tigers are having to fight those blocks off and still make some play.
All right, now a wide out to this side of the field for Evergreen. Get to the fullback. Looks for running room. Cuts it back the other way. Doesn't do it, baby. No gain on the play.
Well, again, you can see those Tigers getting those blocks on that right side, and they were ready. There was no place to go. The ball carrier kind of wanted to get wide. It wasn't going to be. He was going to turn it up, and no doing there. Plenty of black jerseys right there looking at him, saying, "Bring it on, mister."
Yep. And same guys, Perchlick, Honacki, Weaver, Slee, some of the names in there eating that up. Now, third down and 10 yards to go for the Vikings from the Tigers' 15-yard line. Single setback, man in motion. Roll out to the side for caught. Touchdown, Evergreen. 13-7.
He just barely had control of that as he was falling out the back of the end zone. But officials right there, they're saying, "Yup, it's good." And it was a nicely thrown pass. Coverage seemed to be there. Spike with a call receiver, and a perfectly thrown ball.
Good snap, good hold, line drive kick, up good, and the Vikings at the 6 mark of the second period, leading Liberty Center 14-7.
7 minutes to go in a half here, just about Spike, and Tigers are looking to receive and get her going here.
All right, Brian Bush, Damian Mays back deep to Liberty Center at their 10-yard line. At the 10-yard line. It'd be nice to see him go ahead and go deep and let one of those two speeds here break something open here for the Tigers. Here's the kick, end over end. It's going to come down to Mays at the 15-yard line. Got a little roll. Oh, man. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, it was there, Spike.
maybe the seam was there.
If he could have popped to the outside closest to the camera here, just two steps, he'd have had nothing but interception.
Oh, boy. Well, 26-yard return for Damian Mays. And all too close to an 85-yard scamper.
People won't know how close that was until they see the replay.
All right, Brandon Stacy to center. Guards, Weakers, and Perchlick. This lady under center, wing left, set up. Here is the pitch to Slee, trying to go outside. Slee cuts it up, finds some tough running yardage up inside. We'll call it a gain of maybe short 3 yards. We'll call it second and a long 7 to go. Tackles for the center on offense. We've got Honacki on the strong side. Weak side tackle. with a very convertible third down. We'll call it a long 4 to go. 6:10 left here in the second period. Jimmy, big first down here looking at the Tigers. This situation, Tigers need to get something going here on the offense. They only trail 14-7.
Yeah, they do. They need this first down conversions, right?
All right. Sager's in motion this way. They're going to give it to Sleeve. Sleeve barrels straight ahead, but not much there. Good penetration right off the bat. They had Sager's the motion man and the penetrating linebacker all over him. And then, of course, the handoff to Sleeve right where that man had penetrated.
Yeah, Tigers in their running game favor Sleeve because of his experience and strength and what he's been able to accomplish last year and so far this year. But you've got to know that everything's just keying on him, keying on him. Of course, that sets up something else.
All right, a little swiveling kick. Mays gives chase, brings it down along the sneakers.
Purdue there also.
All right, now, yep, Purdue. Mays, a pretty good shot. And Evergreen takes over at their own 38-yard line. Timeout down on the field while they tend to Damian Mays. Period, Evergreen leads at 14-7. Tigers desperately need a defensive stop. Evergreen with a double wing set, a wide out to either side of the field. Goes back, fires deep, uh-oh. Well, Jimmy, as you could see, number 6, Andy Spees, slipped a little.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, that can't be helped, but left their receiver blazing downfield with the pass overthrown. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Andy Spees, another sophomore out there, and I tell you, that's the first action he's seen here tonight, to my knowledge, and you know, that almost looks like a hamstring issue there. But he's a young guy, and he's in shape, and I'm sure he's going to be up to the coverage necessary there as
Patrick Brown, number 5, another sophomore defensive back.
Yeah.
Gives straight ahead on that, not going too far at all. Tigers with great defense. And the number there, Seth Weaker's number 54, nose diving through to slow that play down. Tigers collapse around the running back and stop for no gain on the play. So now the Vikings at their own 38-yard line, 3rd down and 10, 4:55, clock running. Boy, the Tigers here. This is a great place to put on a stop.
Yes, it is, and you almost appreciate the Vikings using the pass. That preserves the time on the clock for the Tigers.
Yep. All right, in motion, going to the far side. Rolling to the right. In trouble, Sagolino!
84, Hesterman. He had some help up there. There was, let me see here.
Bowden,
Bowden was in
27,
there
was
too.
also in there.
They had a block on Hesterman, and he just kind of stronged his way through that and got a paw on the quarterback. But the result was a great loss. Makes it 4th and a mile, and with 4 minutes to go, the Tigers will have a crack at it, Spike.
Yep. Loss of, we'll call it 6 on the play. 4th and 16. Ball back at the 33 and back deep. Damian Mays standing at his 34-yard line. Here's the snap. High wobbler. Mays there to make the catch. Can't break the initial tackle. Had a chance to maybe break something open, but a good open field hit by the Vikings. Tigers will take over at their own 41.
Yeah, Damian Mays got nicked up a little bit on coverage there a couple plays ago and had to set out a few plays. And now he's back in there. Good to see him ready for some more action. One of those sophomores that fills a very key role out there in this Tiger ball team.
Yep. Perchlik now, number 64 at starting tackle, going to take a quick break. See if we can't, I believe Honaki taking his spot. Uh-oh, little mix-up in the backfield. Slee pounds ahead for a couple, maybe a yard on the play, 2nd down and 9. Well, clock continues to run. Tigers have time to mount a drive here, but they've got to make something positive out of nothing here.
Spike, you'd like to see him make a fake to Slee and shovel her out to Sagers, or maybe over the top with a quick pass.
Yep. I expect they might go to the air this time. We've got Brown over here. No, excuse me. Give to Slee. Slee rambles ahead, busts through one Viking tackle at the 45-yard line, and pounds his way ahead to the 47. And that'll bring up third down, and we'll call it 4 yards to go. A gain of 5 by Slee.
Good, hard running, tough yards, but he got them, and Tigers got to convert, Spike.
Yep. Well, with 2:50 to go, Tigers may look at this as 4-down territory. They're going to come out in a tight formation. Slee, the fullback, behind the quarterback. Sager running back here. Damian Mays in motion. Here is play action. Has time. Tip lady fires deep, and that's going to be picked off. Fortunately,
84.
Hesterman was able to come back, make the tackle before anything bad could happen. Vikings will have the ball at their own 25-yard line with 2:33 to go in the first half.
Yeah, pretty good coverage there by the Vikings. I think if quarterback could have really put some air under that and gone along with it, only the Tiger could have had a shot at it.
It would have had to be long enough that it would have been over everybody. It would have been an awfully tough catch for Hesterman. But like you said to begin with, very good coverage out there.
Yeah.
So the best thing, hey, get it downfield if nothing else. Now the Vikings appear that they may try to make something happen. Motion to the far side with a big wide out. Now the deep pitch, running room. Dan Brown has a chance, nothing there, and it's a foot race now with Irving. Irving brings him down at the 35-yard line.
No, that was a saving tackle. There was one other Tiger rammed along there, but that was going to go.
Danny Irving with a courageous tackle, but with 2:23 left, Evergreen with a chance to maybe put Liberty Center in deeper trouble.
Yep, Southmore number 5, Patrick Brown, had a shot at him there pretty early on, but the Vikings showing a lot of speed, a lot of foot speed out there in those running back, Spike.
Yeah, I beg forgiveness. I'm sure I didn't call Patrick Brown Patrick. It might have been Dan, his dad. I'm not. Anyway, first and 10 for the Vikings. Man in motion. He takes the handoff, looking to run around this side. A straight arm. Makes himself some room, and going down the sideline, one man left, and that's
McCloy.
Yep, McCloy to bring him out of bounds at the 8 or 9 yard line, and we've got a very late flag.
Yes, Spike, they saw a face mask there. Chad McClory trying to get him any way he could. Again, he was wrestling him down, got a hold of his face mask. It was an inadvertent kind, I think, but nevertheless, that's what they're going to flag against the Tigers.
Well, a few fans didn't like the call, but boy, I don't know, Jim. This is going to really make it, wow. That's going to take it down inside the 5-yard line. So we're going to call it first and goal now from about, we'll call it the 4.5-yard line. Tigers now need to come up and make a big, big play. 2 wideouts to the short side of the field. I formation in the backfield. Here is the give to the second back. No running room. Hemmed in. He's going to be brought down for a 3-yard loss. Smackarino. Tate Slee wielding and leading the way.
Yeah, and then defense on the left there closed that up in a hurry. Even caused a bit of a loss there.
Well, now that changes things. Second down, and we're back around the 8-yard line. We're going to call that a loss of 4.
Number 58, Phil Miller going in the game there.
Now the Vikings now line up with a double wing package. 2 tight ends, lone running back, man in motion, gives straight ahead, and he ain't going anywhere either. Loss up on the play of another 2 yards. Yep, Seth Weekers, I believe, in on hip. Chad McClory, number 57, also in there. And we're going to get a timeout on the field. The Liberty Center type defense stiffening up now. Yeah, they're going to call it no gain. Maybe a loss of a yard on the play was all. They had him leaning all the way back over the 10-yard line. But the Tigers showing their grit here, battling ferociously down here in the deep trenches.
Yeah, Spike, this is huge. We got away with having 12 men on the defensive side of the ball that last play.
I counted him doing some counting there.
I counted him several times, and Phil Miller went out there, number 58, and nobody came off.
Okay.
Doesn't happen very often, but if you look it over, you're gonna see we had an extra defender out there.
All right, third down and goal from the 8-yard line. Now Evergreen spreads out that offense a little bit. We've got a wide out to the far side. Double wing back set. Number 2, the fullback. Uh-oh, now rolling out, pitch deep to the fullback. Tigers there, and he's into the end zone. Oh, my. 20-7 Evergreen.
Spike, that was a tremendous concepted play there. Tigers were looking for anything but that, and the quarterback looked like he was going to do it, and then he gave a wide pitch, way wide, right at the last minute. I mean, that would be hard to defend against, and they executed it.
Yeah, and with the fullback almost at top speed, able to find the sliver. And now Evergreen with a chance to put themselves up by 2 full scores. Snap good, hold, kick. Wobbles high, splits the uprights though, and it's 21-7 Evergreen with 1:20 to go here in the second quarter.
That's tough on the Tigers, Spike, but they do have 1:20 to get their hands on the ball and see if they can't get it in the end zone quickly.
All right, little gamemanship here by the Tigers. Bush and Mays back deep. Here's the kick. Mays is going to let it bounce, finally picks it up on the second hop at the 10-yard line. Looks for running room, makes a nice little cut, but grabbed from behind on the jersey, slowed down, and a return of about 21 yards up across the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Adam Quigley, number 88, made initial contact on the man he was supposed to block and kind of had him neutralized, but he didn't sustain that block, Spike. And then here come Damian Mays, and he gets clobbered by the guy Quigley was blocking, even though Quigley had him, but just didn't sustain it.
Yep. Okay, now the Tigers, with about 1:14 to go in the second quarter, need to maybe break some kind of a big play. Deep pitch to Slee, tries to get outside, but again, Evergreen fighting through a couple of blocks, and Slee thrown for about a 3-yard loss.
Well, Evergreen would be feeling pretty confident now, Spike, like they could try some things and know that, hey, Tigers are kind of got their back to the wall here with less than a minute to go in the half.
Clock continues to run. 42 seconds left in the first half. Tigers with Irving split out wide. Back to throw. He's got time. Irving out here. And incidental contact over the head of Irving, incomplete. That'll bring up third down with 32 seconds.
Well, that pass looked like that could be pretty close there, Spike. Wasn't much distance between the ball and Irving making a good pattern out here. Evergreen seemed to have that covered, but still it was close.
Well, big down here. Liberty Center spreads it out, wide out to either side. Now they're going to give it to Slee. Slee pounds ahead for about 11 yards on the play. It'll bring up fourth down, and for Liberty Center, the clock's running, and maybe that is perhaps the best thing. Tigers will run it down here, maybe get one more play. Tigers may use the timeout just to set it up to get one more play. Yeah, there they go. They're going to stop the clock with 2, so that'll take any chance that Evergreen has to get the ball back. Timeout down on the field. 21-7 Evergreen. 2-second play of the first half after the timeout. Irving wide to this side. Throws. They're going to throw that little there. It's going to be a flea flicker. Oh, my. Wow. Irving, they were going to little hook and lateral. But I think the Evergreen defense, the idea was Irving catch and a pitch going outside to Sager. But I believe the Evergreen Vikings had it defended. The defender, once the ball was dropped, then cut on inside.
Yeah,
but,
they were deep. They were deeper than the play, so they would have had opportunity to make that. But Irving, boy, he could see big things happening. You know, he could just see those wheels turning, and he was ready to make his lateral before he caught the ball.
Before he caught the ball.
You got to catch it first.
How many times, Jimmy, have we seen that at every level?
Yeah,
of
exactly.
play?
And this is sophomores. You know, these are sophomores, you know, in key positions all over the place, and you just got to get some experience. And the only way you get experience is to play, and here we are.
All right, now, the key coming into the second half, obviously the Tigers have some ground to make up, but you've got to approach every half with intensity, the never say die type attitude, and I think that is going to be one of the important things for Liberty Center to maintain throughout the season.
Oh, they'll be ready to play a solid half. Now, they deferred the first half. They did win the toss, so they're going to take the ball, and I think they're going to have a plan.
Yep.
And they'll probably, you know, make some changes from their offensive approach a little bit, Spike, and then they'll have to do some thinking on defense because those Evergreen boys are experienced, and they're big and they're strong.
Well, let's wrap her up there for the first half. We'll be back with some halftime stats. Evergreen leads at 21-7 as we see the Evergreen Viking band come out onto the field.
standing and all comers. Close next show from the Smiths from the team of the Hero 3 were research and enjoy.
Yeah, but I mean, they're
Ladies and gentlemen, Evergreen Viking Marching Band!
They're pretty senior down at Toledo.
Okay.
Okay, we'll quick crunch some numbers here from the first half. It starts out from the beginning right here, everything kind of given over to Evergreen on the edge. Time of possession, Evergreen 14 minutes, Liberty Center 10. That not so misleading, but or kind of misleading. First downs, Evergreen dominates with 10 and Liberty Center 2. Liberty Center 21 rushes for 69 yards, about 3.5 yards a carry. Evergreen, on the other hand, doubling Liberty Center's yardage with 140 on 26 carries, good for about 4.5 yards a play. So 4.5 to 3.5 yards per rush, and double the total number in total yardage and rushing. Passing, Liberty 1 of 5 for 10 yards. Evergreen 3 of 6 for 39. So Liberty Center with 80 yards of offense in the first half. Evergreen 180. Evergreen had one fumble and lost that. Liberty Center had 2 punts for a total of 60 yards, averaging 30 yards a punt. And Evergreen 1 punt for 36 yards. Liberty 3 penalties for a total of 25 yards. Evergreen 2 penalties for 20 yards. So the definite edge there for more or less ball control was Evergreen with their explosive offense. On the defensive side, we had Tate Slee and number 57, Chad McClory, each with 9 tackles. Hesterman had 4 tackles, a fumble recovery, and one of those was a sack. Also with 4 tackles, Danny Irving and number 54, Seth Weekers. And with 3 tackles, we've got 64, Perchlick, and number 3, Derek Hefflinger. And these stats brought to you by the crew of Pete Martinez, Neil Carter, and Brad Howe. Thank you much, fellas, for a well-documented set of stats. Well, Jimmy, here we go. We've getting ready now for the kickoff. Final ticks gone from the clock, just waiting for the teams to take the field. And Liberty Center now looking down the barrel of a 2-touchdown deficit.
Spike, they need to find an answer for those pretty well conceived offensive plays. It seems as though Evergreen, when they needed a play, they were able to get it. It was something we weren't expecting, and something that it's just going to take experience for us to really get a handle on. But, you know, coaches get a lot of adjusting in during halftime, and Tigers are going to get the ball. We'll see if they've got a plan to get some points up there.
Yeah, I think what we saw was a lot of 3rd and 10-plus yards on conversions for Evergreen. Not so many 3rd and 2s or 4th and 1s, but a lot of 3rd and 12, 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and they were able to get them.
Yeah. All right, now Liberty Center will get the first kickoff. Damian Mays takes it at the 14. Has a cordon of blockers, tries to sift his way through. Gets up to about the 30-yard line where the Tigers will take over to start this second half. I think it is... what's the right word here? Paramount, Jim, that the Tigers mount an offensive drive here.
They need to get some momentum back on Tigers' back here.
All right, Tigers come out. They show a double wingback set with Damian Mays and Derek Hefflinger. Slee the lone setback. Slee takes the first handoff, pounds his way up across the 30-yard line, up to about the 32. We'll call it a gain of about 3 yards on the play.
Pretty good surge by the Tiger offensive line.
Yeah, and that's something that the Tigers at times have looked very good, and at times Evergreen has dominated.
Yeah, you can tell the size advantage goes to Evergreen right across the line of scrimmage, but if you're calling the plays, then you've got the advantage.
Tigers with a double wide out, 2-back set. Give to Sagers coming up off the inside the guard. on the right side, but not too much there at all. No gain on the play. Third down, and we'll call it 8 to go. 11-11 left here in the the third period.
Yeah, there was nothing there, Spike. There was no crease for him to get started in, and he just ran into the tacklers that were pretty well sure that Liberty was going to run on that play and had an answer for it.
All right, Evergreen shows a 4-man front. They've got 6 more men up in the box, or 10. Back to throw, has time. Ooh. Oh, tipped and picked off there. And a lot of running room. And Evergreen not going to get into the end zone. A great job of hustling after the ball. Joe Honacki ran him down, number 77, I believe.
62, I'm giving credit for being in there. Brandon Stacy looked like he might have met him out there. Maybe that number isn't even out there right now.
No, I believe you might be right, Jim. He came from the sideline there. Wow, what a tough play.
Yeah.
We had Damian Mays open, but a good defensive tip, and the ball stayed in the air, came right down in the wrong hand.
Yeah, not only that, quarterback Evan Tiplady got a shot right after he let that ball go.
Oh, boy. Well, first and goal at the 7 for Evergreen, taking advantage of a tip pass. Here is the give straight ahead. The line surge is going to push the ball down inside the 5, down to about the 2-yard line. So the Tigers now will counter with Phil Miller, number 58, and number 9,
Jordan Perdue. Yeah, Jordan Perdue in there also. Damian Mays coming out. Also number 5, Patrick Brown.
Wow, now the ball's at the 1-yard line, a gain of 5. So with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, Evergreen looking at a chance to really pull out ahead here. Give to the fullback. Tigers right there to meet him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. A good Tiger stop.
Oh, you got to love that stiffness there. Honacki getting up, Slee getting up.
And the
50,
and the Vikings have had some success at running right at Liberty Center.
Yeah, but Tigers know it's laying right in the goal line, no, but they're fighting with everything they've got.
Well, this will be a good measure of character for the Tigers' defense.
Oh, there's a lot of strength out there on that black team. They're youthful, but they're strong.
All right, Evergreen's got it spread out now. 2 wide outs to the far side. Wing back set over here. Lone setback in the backfield. They may spread it out and still try to pound the middle. Quarterback draw, and he's close. Tigers stopping. He's not into the end zone yet. That's going to make it 4th and goal. The gallant Liberty Center Tigers putting on an effort here.
You gotta love that. They got it right down there, 1st and goal on the 1-yard line, and after 3 tries, it's still on the 1-yard line, albeit it's a little closer, about the 1-foot line.
You know, this reminds me of that last final stand the Tigers made when they took on Bedford Chanel. All right, here we go. This is gut check time for Liberty Center. 4th and goal inside the 1-yard line. A wide out with Danny Erringen all over him to the this side of the field. Give to the second back throw. He's got room, and the Vikings finally punch it in on 4th down from the 1-yard line.
Well, good defensive stand there, Spike. How can you keep out a good team for 4 plunges right there with just but a scant yard to go on your goal line?
Well, true story, Jim. Certainly not for a lack of effort. Good Tiger stand, but the Vikings finally on 4th down go into the end zone. Now setting up for the PAT kick. Snap good, hold good, kick up, splits the uprights good. 28-7, Evergreen here with 8:27 left in the third period. All right, set to kick, end over end. That's going to bounce there at about the 20-yard line. Picked up, Damian Mays breaks one tackle, but then snowed under several Evergreen pursuants. And that'll give Liberty Center a 1st down as we're just getting started here into the second half. Tigers trailed 21-7, and on the first possession, ball tipped on a pass. Evergreen returned it all the way inside the 10-yard line, had 1st and goal. So the Tigers get the ball back with a chance to redeem the offense. A double wide out set with Irving the far side. Damian Mays over here. Deep pitch to Slee, looking for running room, but caught in the backfield. Good Viking pursuit. And Slee caught from behind before he had a chance to square his shoulders and turn it upfield. We'll call it a loss of about 2 yards on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 12 with the ball back at the 24-yard line. Well, Jimmy, I think now it's important for Liberty Center to establish some sort of a running game.
Yeah, they need a couple first downs here, Spike, to settle everything down.
Holy mackerel.
You know, the Vikings are relaxed, they're comfortable, and they're just coming. And sometimes you just play better because you just feel it.
Exactly.
And their program has not been exactly stellar, but they've got experience, and they just sort of kind of think this could be their year. I'd like to mention they've only won the league title 1 time in their history, whereas the Tigers have won 7 league titles.
Yep, Paul Hilton, number 2, a 6'2", 200-pound inside linebacker, met Slee at right there. Now back to throw, has time, throws it upfield, and that's going to be picked off at the 45-yard line. Giving chase, a push, and finally ran out of bounds by Ryan Sager at about the inside the 25-yard line. So Liberty Center now forced to gamble. They put it up, and Evergreen, playing center field, picks it off. One of the Vikings, and now they've got the ball at the Tiger 24.
Yeah, the Vikings had that pretty well covered. I mean, there just wasn't any place to put that ball, and it just was well defensed.
Right. Well, now you've got to.
Tigers need a turnover. If
right.
They can,
Tigers
come up with a big play here, then they can get their offense clicking a little bit.
All right, motion going that way, a little play action. They're going for the juggler, home run ball, caught, Evergreen touchdown. Well, Evergreen turning this game into a one-sided affair so far. Of course, Liberty Center forced to gamble, and Evergreen taking advantage. So with 6:56 to go here in this 3rd period, it's Evergreen 34, Liberty Center 7.
Spike, this Evergreen head coach there is a Teakin.
Yep.
And he was playing when Evergreen did win their league championship. So he has, there's an extra point that didn't go. That hit the left upright and bounced back into the end zone, and so they came up short on that play. But just about everything else the Vikings have tried when they've had possession of the football has been fairly successful tonight.
Starts the rally. There's the chink in the armor.
Yeah, did you know that, Spike, that
No.
Teakin over there?
All right, 6:56. Here it is, end over end kickoff, and again that comes down to Damian Mays at the 15-yard line. And Mays can't break through the good Evergreen coverage. They'll have the ball at their own 33-yard line. Well, 2 Tiger interceptions by Evergreen, and both have turned into scores, and they've turned what was still a good ball game, and now Evergreen leading by 4 scores. So Liberty Center now needs to get something going. They've got to retain a good measure of pride here in themselves and in the team. Here's the give on a little end around.
Damian Mays with
Damian Mays cuts it back, picks up 2 very, very tough yards up to the 35-yard line.
All right, Adam Quigley coming out, number 88. Yeah, Tigers need a first down here bad, Spike.
All right, wing back set to the left. Here is the fake to Slee, play action. Tip lady back, what a wide, oh my, well, that's been the Tigers' night, Jim, as we've seen.
Yeah.
Damian Mays with the ball in the breadbasket, but it pops out at the 50-yard line. So the Tigers will come back, and now they're faced with 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, that was a nice throw by Tip Lady, and Damian Mays wanting to get something out of it right away, and it kind of banged him in the shoulder pads there, right in the chest. Though, you know, you'd think, man, if you can reach it, you can catch it, Spike, and he'd like to have had another crack at that.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Jimmy? They drop him in the NFL too.
Oh, I know it.
Okay, Tigers with another shot here. 3rd and 9. 6:09 to go, 3rd quarter. Play action. Tip Lady steps up. Now starts to sprint out of the pocket, but brought down. Picks up maybe a couple of yards on the play. 4th down. Damian Mays there to pick up, help Evan Tip Lady up to the top. And with 4th down, the Tigers will bring their punt team onto the field. I'm not so sure, Jim, we're going to see Evergreen make too many player changes anytime soon. As like you mentioned earlier, they've been on the short end of a lot of games over the last 22 years under Rex Lindgren's tenure. Quigley, little high end over end floater. That's going to come down at the inside the 40-yard line. Now a little bit of running room to the outside, and finally Slee delivers a good blow. Knocks him out of bounds, but Evergreen just inside Tiger territory. All right, Evergreen now has the ball. They're going to give it going wide to the wide side of the field. Tigers stuff that up, and a great tackle.
Yeah, 84. That'd be
Mr. Hesterman, while being practically tackled himself from laying flat on the ground, reaches up and stops him with the help of several Tigers, and a loss of 2 yards on the play.
I've seen him do that a couple times this year already, where they put in a hard block on him, but with his strength and doggedness, Spike just able to reach up with his arms or whatever and make a play out of it. That's what you need to do.
All right. Tigers defense still battling hard. Now 2nd and 12 for the Vikings. A wide out to this side, and man in motion going the other way. Now they fake the pitch, and we're going to blow the play dead. It sure looked like there was
movement on Evergreen, which might have drawn our guy offside, but we'll see. Guess they're pointing toward the Tigers there. The Tiger defensive line, Spike, got in the neutral zone when the ball was snapped, I think. Couldn't get back.
Yeah, when the man went in motion, I think that pulled somebody.
Yeah.
Well, not at the most critical penalty in the world. That'll bring up a 2nd and 7, 4:35 here in the 3rd period. Clock running. Evergreen leading 34-7. Evergreen sends a wide out to the far side of the field. Tigers with 9 men up in the box. Tigers looking to make something happen with their defense. Motion this way. Get to the motion, man. Holding. Oh, my. Oh, my. Hesterman was being held over here, what appeared to me to be a hold by number 24. That did not get called, and it's a a Viking 1st down inside Tiger territory.
Yeah, among others, a sophomore Patrick Brown on the stop, but big gainer does move the sticks for the Vikings, Spike.
Yep, ball on the Tiger 37-yard line. And the Vikings continue to run with that first team. They got a wing right, wide right set.
Yeah, Jordan Perdue on the right defensive end for the Tiger defense.
Give off the right side to the fullback. In trouble now. And that is going to be an Evergreen touchdown. Well, I'm sure, Jimmy, that they may be logging this away in the memory banks. There's going to be another meeting of these teams, I guarantee you that.
No question about it. And many people said before the season began that the Tigers were about a year off getting all those sophomores seasoned. And lots of numbers in that class, and other class to follow to really fill in. But you Tigers have got a lot to play for, and they're going to play a lot of football yet.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's 2 extra points in a row that they did not convert.
All right, 3:30 to go here in the 3rd quarter, and Evergreen now leading Liberty Center 40-7. Vikings set to kick off. Mason Bush back deep, end over end kick. That's going to come up short. Taken there by Perchlik. Makes a nice cut, running room up across the 45-yard line, up to the 47. Gain of a return of 22 for Jacob Perchlick.
Joe Spicer getting in the game, and also Brian Bush was deep back there on that punt, Spike, number 33.
You know, and they haven't went Bush's way yet. Everything's come down this row of hash marks. All right, Liberty Center brings their offense out. Evan Tiplady, number 15, under center. We've got Slee, the fullback. Ryan Sager, number 23, the running back on this side. Bush, number 33, the wing back. Hesterman, the tight end this side. Quigley, tight end over there. Here's the give to Slee. Slee twists and turns inside the 50-yard line down to the 48. Gain of 5. And the Tigers with a solid first down rush. You know, and another thing, it goes a long way back, but I can't wait to take a look at the films. I thought two straight bad spots when the Tigers went for it on 4th and less than a yard at midfield, and that certainly didn't help anything.
Oh, you could add up a lot of things that don't add up, Spike.
Yeah. Uh-oh, Slee cuts it outside, runs into a lot of Evergreen defenders, but a gain of a couple on the play, and that'll make 3rd and about 4 yards to go.
Spike, if we had a first down this half.
No, I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we drastically need to establish a little positive ball control here.
2:24, clock running. Tigers with the wing left set. Gives straight ahead to Slee. Slee pounds his way, breaks one tackle, busts his way down near the 40-yard line, a gain of about 6 on the play, and that will be the first Tiger first down here in the second half. Now, I think it's always important, no matter the score, you have to retain some sort of personal pride. You have to keep that battle wagon mentality here.
Absolutely, you have to maintain the integrity of the whole program. There you go.
Takes it to the outside at the 30, cuts inside, spins, drives all the way down to the 15-yard line.
Mike, we just needed to get that first down, and now we're rolling.
27-yard gain for Tate Slee coming off that right side of the offensive line. Behind Perchlick and Miller and Hesterman. So the Tigers now opening up the offense a little bit. They've got that 1st and 10. They're going to mark the ball, I believe, at the 16. So the Tigers set it up. Brian Bush, wing back on the right, in motion to the short side. Gives straight ahead to Sager, picking his way ahead. Not much there. Sager, though, battles inside the 15, down to about the 14, gain of a couple. I think it's imperative now the Tigers able to convert here.
Oh, Spike, they've got to hang on this ball, 4 down territory, all that stuff.
Slee takes the handoff, runs right into a couple of tackles. Never had a chance to really get anything going, and that's been one thing Evergreen has been able to do. They've been able to find ways to penetrate, get inside, and change the running play as planned by the Tigers on, they've done this several occasions.
Yeah, Sager carrying 150 pounds or thereabouts according to the program, trying to block some pretty tough defenders coming after Slee on that last play.
All right, give the Slee, left side, stays on his feet, rambles, 5 more, 3, 2, 1, that's a Tiger touchdown! Tate Slee from 15 yards out into the end zone. The Tigers never giving up now, onto the field now for the extra point kick.
And Spike, that's how it looks. Some execution, a first down, and all of a sudden you're there.
Well, and this pretty much is Evergreen's starting defense. I don't see many number changes out there whatsoever. So the Tigers will set up now for the extra point kick. Oh, bull. Well, whistles blow before the Tigers get the snap off.
It's going to be against Evergreen, so we'll get another chance a little bit closer.
Patrick Brown now holding for the Tigers. Brian Bush, the long snapper here, and we'll have, like you say, after the penalty, Tigers will have another crack at it. All right, now the Tigers are going to come out.
Now number 6, Andy Speece.
Well, I couldn't tell what happened.
No, but Andy
Now get the
Speece came in
sleeve.
late there, Spike, with probably a little play change or whatever. But they couldn't convert.
Yeah, I lost track of who had the ball even, but nevertheless, at this point, it's Evergreen 40, Liberty Center 13 with 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. All right, while we're getting set here for the kickoff, let's make a run through these sponsors again. And these are the people that make it possible for our Liberty Center chapter of TV5 to stay on the air. That for me, Spike, one of the Tiger play-by-play guys. And also we've got good old Jimmy Leatherman, Landis Utopia Burmeister on the camera. And, of course, Tom Fry filling in for me upon occasion. Okay, we've got Dave's Auto Service with Dave Perry. The Railside Market Meat, Cheese, and More with Bob Miller. A taste of the Amish there with Bob in his shop there right uptown in Tigertown. Also, the Tiger Shop with Bob and Julie Shaddy. The Holgate Metal Fab with Jeff and Todd Spangler. KK Collision with Kyle Kern. All right, Tip Lady set to kick off, end over end. Lone return man back there at the 15-yard line. Runs straight ahead.
64.
Yep, Jacob Perchlick, number 64, with a help from number 20, Jacob Howard. All right, some more Tiger sponsors. We got the porch coaches with Rick Miller, Mike Mann, Dave Muller, Louie Miller, Chris Zacharias, Danny Brown, Terry Bowers, Jeff Huff, Ronnie Hoover, Matt Aid, Dave Silvas, Rob Shaddy, Kevin Moeller, and Jeff Spangler. And Duke Overmeyer, also one of the originals. Okay, we've got the Henry County Bank with Bill Wendt. Swanton Welding with the Zeider family. The Dugout with Steve and Catherine Parasini. And Hill Asphalt Paving with Randy Hill. Evergreen with a wide out to this side of the field. Double set running back, wing back right. Long count. Here is the game. A mix up in the backfield, but they're going to turn it into, well, back to the line of scrimmage, actually.
Maybe a yard or two.
Yep. Bowden Bender, one of the in on the hit, one of the players down inside.
Spike, thinking about those porch coaches, downtown porch coaches that are a good sponsor and in good standing with the TV5 crew. I have an idea they've probably got their own Hall of Fame committee amongst them, wouldn't you say?
Jim,
I mean, they got stories. There'd be a wealth of material there that... I don't know. Kip Kern himself would have to verify, probably.
Well, they tell some of the stories that'll be heard around campfires for the next 50 years.
Yeah.
All right, that is the end of the third quarter. At the end of the half, it was 21-7 Evergreen, but they came out with 3 quick scores, 2 of them set up by interceptions, and they blew out to a huge lead at one point, scoring 40 unanswered points. But Liberty Center got the ball back, moved 60 yards on 7 plays. Sleece bringing the last 15 into the end zone. So at the end of 3 periods of play, it's 40 Evergreen, Liberty Center 13. All right, some more sponsors. We've got Megan Irving of Wells Bowen Realtors in Napoleon, Ohio. Also Truckers Paradise with Lynn and Jerry Ripke. The Sky Bank in Liberty Center. Pisanello's Pizza with Craig and Sherry Myers with their twice-a-day buffet, and a slice of pizza to go for $1. You can't beat it. I had 2 of them today myself. Speece Trailer Court with Rick Speece. B.A. Miller & Sons Trucking with the Miller family. L.R. Babcock Plumbing and Heating with Bill Tiplady, Dan and Francis Brown. Davis Farm Services in Delden, Liberty. And the Liberty Center Consulting Group with Mark and Jody Bly. All right. 2nd down and 9 for the Vikings as we start the 4th and final period. They show a wide out to this side. Give to the second back through on the left side. Stopped and no gain right there. The Tigers eating that up.
Yeah, they strung that out and plugged it up.
Yeah, Honacki in there along with Perchlick.
Yeah.
Weekers also number 54. It's just awfully hard, Jim, to get that guy on the initial hit, so we've just got to try to pick the people that were in the pile as quick as anybody.
Well, if you know it's on that side, you just about can peg who was there.
Yeah. All right, 3rd down and 10. Tigers need a stop here. Tigers show a 6-man front. Linebackers up tight. Give off the left side. We've got a whistle early.
Boy, good penetration there on the Tiger right side again, Spike. They had that plugged up right from the get-go.
I didn't. Okay. Weekers, number 54 in there again on the hit. Weekers, if you remember, was listed amongst the leading tacklers in the first half and continuing to pile them up. That now for a loss of 3 on the play, so the Vikings back in punt formation. Brian Bush, the lone return man, back inside the 40. High floating kick. Oh my. Oh, baby. Well, Brian Bush getting up.
You know, number 2 from Evergreen's always been making the defensive plays, and he just got there ahead of the ball.
Yeah, 6'2", 200-pound starting fullback. He's still in the game with 10.5 to go. In that time, delivers a blow that the Tigers just aren't too pleased about. But Brian Bush still in the lineup, took that blow and didn't seem to lose a half a step or anything.
Yep, well, he's one tough kid, but hits don't come any harder for that. His eyes were skyward. He was looking for that high punt. All of a sudden,
oh man, that was vicious. Well, who knows? And 2 went off limping. Paul Hilton. Well, Tigers may remember that number if he returns. Vikings now maybe, ouch, I see a lot of the same numbers.
Yeah.
All right, doesn't matter. Brian Bush in motion. Here is the give to Slee. Slee off the right side, pounds his way ahead, picks up about, we'll call it 4 on the play. That puts the ball inside the Evergreen 45-yard line. So that'll bring up 2nd down, 6, 10:18 to go in the ball game, 40-13 Evergreen. Evergreen, Jim, I think you have to give it credit. They're the real deal.
Oh, they're a tough ball team. They don't seem to appear to have any weaknesses as we look at them here right now, Spike.
Bush in motion this way. Give to Slee. Slee battling, driving, spinning. No, it's a quarterback keeper with Tiplady. Tiplady all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Holy mackerel, Jimmy, they did it to me again.
Well, look, I believe the whole stadium thought there goes Slee, and he's going to get a pretty good run. Well, he didn't have the ball.
And he put on a pretty good fake because he was driving and pounding those thighs, twisting the shoulders.
He attracted a lot of attention, Spike. Just about everybody bought into that. And all of a sudden, here comes the long-legged tip lady around the left side.
Hey, that's a good gainer. 19 yards for Evan Tiplady on the quarterback keeper. We'll have to see that one again on TV5. He must have tucked that ball down on the hip.
Yeah. Hey, that could have been our longest play from scrimmage tonight, Spike. What do you think on that?
Well, I imagine it would rank right up there. Slee's touchdown run was 16 yards here in the second half. So 9:50 to go, clock running, but Liberty Center continuing to battle. That never say die attitude can only pay dividends down the road. So Tiplady under center behind Brandon Stacy. Now the give to Slee. Slee left side following a good block in there by Sager and continues to tugboat his way all the way down to the 15-yard line. A gain of 9. It'll bring up 2nd down and a long one to go.
Yeah, that was a good lead block by his cohort in the backfield there, Ryan Sager, putting his poundage where it'll do the most good.
Yep. Also on that side of the football, now we've got Perchlik and Honacki, along with Quigley. That's the side that Slee ran behind. Bush in motion. Here's the fake to Slee. Rolling out, play action toss. Deep in the end zone. And finally knocked out of his hands. I believe he had it for a split second, but a great defensive job to knock it out of the hands of Hesterman.
Yeah, it could have been just a hair deep for the end zone there, but nevertheless, a well-thrown ball, and that's coming close, Spike.
Yeah, well, and I think they knocked it out of his hands after he It was close. He came down, and then I think in that final scramble, they knocked it loose, very close to a catch. I'm not so sure. All right, regardless, that's not the way the call went. The Tigers have Slee and Sager in the backfield. Here is the give to Slee.
No, Bush.
Bush, oh my, lost it again on the end around.
Oh, yeah, Bush.
The wing back reverse.
Yeah.
And that should be enough for a Tiger first down.
I think so, Spike.
Well, they
They're
better
gonna move
be.
the sticks.
Yeah, it better be. They've moved the football, so it better be a first down. All right, my apologies to Brian Bush and family. We'll have to watch a little closer. A lot of Liberty chicanery. Now they give to Sager straight ahead. Pickup of a couple. 8:39 clock running, 40-13, but the Tigers working to try to punch in a score here. Evergreen's defense, Jimmy, I think pretty much intact here.
Yeah, we mentioned last week they played Delta extremely tough for the better part of 3 quarters before the Panthers got the upper hand on the Vikings.
All right, Bush in motion. Here's the fake to Slee rolling out. Excuse me, pass a little high for Brian Bush to flag in. That'll bring up 3rd down and 9. Well, if I was Evergreen, I'd keep my first team in there. I mean, you're only ahead of Liberty by 27. I'd be afraid of Liberty Center too.
Well, Spike, 3rd and 9, certainly 4th down territory, and doggone it, under present circumstances, I'd like to say this is 5 down territory.
Yeah.
So if we can't get it in 4, then let's hope for a penalty on that 4th down, which should give us another down.
All right, double wing set, Slee the lone setback, Sager in motion. Tip lady rolling right, has time, goes cross field. He's got a man open.
Yeah.
Bush caught. It's no good. They rule it was over the end line. Come on, the Tigers can't catch a break. What a grab by Brian Bush. Flying, firing, and barring his way along the end line. Hauled it in, but they rule he was beyond the end of the playing field. So the Tigers now facing a 4th and 9.
Well, that was a well-thrown ball. Tip lady drilled that, waited for his receiver to clear the interference back there in the end zone, and later out there where he could catch it, and he made a nice play on it, but alas, it was on the other side of the boundary.
Okay, Tigers with one last shot here from the 11, we'll call it the 12-yard line. Double wing set. Here is the fake. Tip lady rolls, has time, throws to the end zone, and that's going to be picked off by one of the starting defensive backs. He moves his way upfield across the 30. Has running room down the sideline. Last man there, Sager, piles him out of bounds around the 50-yard line. So with 7:47 left in the ball game, Evergreen with at least their 3rd interception puts this game away. They lead it 40-13.
There's about a 50-plus yard return on that too, Spike.
Yeah, about 50. All right, Evergreen comes out with pretty much that starting unit intact. Wing right set. Give straight ahead to the fullback. And the Tigers...
yeah, a whole bunch of them there. McClory out there bulldogging him, and also 77's out there, Joe Honacki, and a host of other Tigers right there in that line of scrimmage, Spike, that said, I don't think so, that's enough of that.
Number 10, Corey Trucker, the starting quarterback, still in there for the Vikings. We've got a 2nd down and 9. They give to the wingback on the wingback reverse, and a pickup of about 6 on the play. And Vikings now with a 3rd down and short in Tiger territory on Liberty's 38. 6:48 clock running.
Brandon Reed entering the game there, Spike. 5'10 sophomore, number 26.
Vikings line up with a wide out, double wing set. Tigers show 8 men up in the box. Give straight ahead. Met by Weakers, but a continual pounding by running back Jordan McCready. And that moves the chains. Vikings with a first down at Liberty Center's 35.
A host of Tigers coming in there. I don't have a listing for number 75. Was 75 ran out there. Jason Hill. Mason Hill, number 75 in the ball game, as well as some other fresh numbers for the Tigers. Jordan Seedorf, number 30 in there, Spike. Another sophomore.
All right, first and 10, 5:55 left in the ball game. Vikings have it. Double wing set, motion the other way. Give straight ahead. Tigers eat that alive.
Yeah, they did.
Loss on the play.
36 also in there.
Mason Hill
is part of the crowd that smothered him back there.
In
for
on
loss.
that loss of about 3 on the play. That's running to the spot. Looked like a little more than that. Into the lineup for the Tigers, number 62, Brandon Stacy, playing some defense.
Spotters give Cooper Michael credit for being in the action there, Spike.
Yep, Cooper Michael, a 200-pound defensive tackle.
So a lot of young Tigers getting some action here, which is good.
In motion, deep pitch. Tigers grab a hole. Let's see who got him by the jersey.
Yeah, Mason Hill, 75.
Okay, Mason Hill.
Got a piece of that jersey and hung on, and then here comes some Tigers to finish him off.
Yep.
So spirited defense here by the Tigers. About a 3rd and 12 Vikings have, Spike.
All right, loss of another yard on the play. 4:38 to go.
What's that,
Evergreen came out in that second half,
the whole
took
team
advantage of a tipped pass, and that pushed the score to 28-7.
Spike, Mark Bly says this was a starting JV team out there right now.
All right.
The junior varsity is playing defense.
All right, little play action. Quarterback keeper runs right into the teeth of the Tiger defense. Cooper Michael, number 56, spearheading the Tiger defense. No gain on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
55 now entered the game. Troy Scott, 230-pound junior.
Line of scrimmage, a few more sponsors. We got Schaefer Truck and RV Sales with Terry and Todd Schaefer, and Miller Brother Trucking in Napoleon with Skip Miller. Skip, a longtime Tiger sponsor. So Evergreen going to go for it on 4th down. And a fumble in the backfield, fumbled again, and the Tigers all over that.
Yeah, 26, 75, and 6 back here getting some
Brandon
action.
Reed, number 26. Mason Hill, number 75, and
number 6, Andy Spies. All part of that hustle in the Viking backfield to smother that fumble.
All right, now the Tigers will come out with their JV squad.
Jacob Howard in there, replacing Brandon Reed. Number 20, Jacob Howard seeing action.
Patrick Brown lines up at the quarterback spot. Tigers line up with a wing back set this way. Here's play action. Brown back to throw. Out there just over the intended outstretched
Tim
hands.
Overmeyer, number 10.
115-pound sophomore wideout. That'll stop the clock. 3:28 to go. All right, some more sponsors here. We've got Eon Industries with Judy Leininger and Dawn Bender. Mitchell Farm Equipment with Tom, Pat, Barb, and Mike Mitchell. Meyer Badenhop Insurance Agency with Glenn and Napoleon. And Bob and Marge Drossix in Liberty Center. Here's Bush in motion. They give straight ahead. A lot of running room. Breaks one tackle. Howard battles. Breaks up inside the 50-yard line down to the 40. Well, they're going to mark it at about the 46, and I think that is a first down.
Oh,
and
yeah.
somewhere along the line, they moved the football, and now we've got, now they're going to call it a first down. I think that's a...
Our experienced chain gang wouldn't hold still for that at all over there, Spike.
All right. Howard with a beautiful run straight up the middle with a big hole.
Another sophomore, Spike. We got lots of sophomores.
All right, here's the give off the right side. Spies, I believe.
Andy Spies, yes.
Yeah, met at the line of scrimmage, battled his way, or short of the line of scrimmage, battled back to pick up that yard.
Yeah.
So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
Carl Rohr's in there now, number 63. Others entered the game, didn't get all those numbers, Spike, but a lot of young folks out there.
Bush in motion this way. A little fake.
Howard.
And gives straight ahead to Howard. Howard rambles, takes the hip and pulls it away and twists and grinds inside the 40, inside the 35, and enough for another Tiger first down. Number 2:31, the clock stopped while they set the chains.
Number 34 out there, Spike, Jesse Jones.
All right, Tigers continuing to work hard here. Wing set, motion man Bush, gives straight ahead to Howard again. Howard twists, battles, gets down to about the 31. And that'll be a gain of about 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 with 2:10 left in the ball game. Tigers trying to cut into this Evergreen lead. One JV unit versus another.
All right, Patrick Brown bringing him up there to the line of scrimmage with a 2nd and 8, Spike.
Minute 54, Bush in motion to the wide side. Give to Howard again. Howard bounces off one hit, battles ahead, drives through 2 more players, gain of 6 yards, inside, or down around the 25-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about 1 to go.
Yep, Jacob Howard shows some strength running into that defensive posture, Spike.
Yep, Sean Slee, a 200-pound tackle, a sophomore, number 60, in the lineup for the Tigers. All right, give outside to Spees. Spees cuts it up, now cuts it out, spins, drives, twists, and down close to the 20-yard line. More than enough for a Tiger first down. Clock stopped momentarily with 1:16 to go.
All right,
Tigers continue to relentlessly pound away.
Tim Overmeyer going out there. Jordan Seedorf, number 30, coming out. Number 75,
Mason Hill.
Mason Hill coming out.
Tigers come to the line of scrimmage. 1:08 clock running. They set up in the wing package to this side. Setbacks Howard. And here's the give, a reverse. Nice break of a tackle there. Bush tries to find running room, but Evergreen with good penetration kind of happened to be in the way of the play.
Yep.
Sometimes that call would work great that time for the first time in several plays.
Yeah.
Evergreen's penetration stops it.
Oh, when you got any reverse action, Spike, it either works or it doesn't. There's no halfway about it.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
I mean, if there's people that have penetrated or just happen to be in the right spot, generally it'll get stopped cold. But then sometimes nobody's home.
All right, now they're going to run play action. Brown fires deep. He's got a man open. Caught. It's a Tiger touchdown. Liberty Center never say die. The JV unit pounds away, drives the field for about 60 yards into the end zone on the long bomb all alone.
Spike, that was
Jesse Jones. Number 34.
Yeah, Jesse
A
Jones.
6-foot senior with an end zone grab, and the Tigers now have put up some points sorely needed.
Yeah, that helps all the way around.
Yeah,
it
it's
feels
just
good. You know,
yeah,
a lot of this
absolutely.
unit does a lot of the practicing, does a lot of the work during the.
Now Brown on a rollout. He's got some room.
He's there.
Into the corner. He's into the end zone. Patrick Brown with a little bit of savvy and a whole lot of speed beat the defense, got into the end zone, and the Tigers have now 21 points.
Yeah, Spike and the Tiger crowd loves it. These boys practice long and hard and kind of waiting for their opportunity to play. And, well, here it came on a Friday night, and they just made a good example of what needs to be done, you know, from a reserve group. They got in there, they executed, they did what they wanted to do, and they feel good about it.
Yep. Well, and here's another one. Carl Rohr is a 6'1", 200-pound guard in there as a sophomore for the Tigers. helping to open that thing up. And Jimmy, I cannot believe the number of sophomores we've got on this ball team.
This seems like we had about 19 sophomores as we got into the season. Now, I don't know what the count is anymore, but, you know, that class was really strong, produced a lot of athletes, and they've stayed together from the get-go back in the grades, and the whole community's saying, hey, when those sophomores come of age, look out. And they're showing us that, that they're looking forward to their time.
Yep. Well, 23 seconds remain in the game here that I'm sure if it could be played again, there would be some things different. Perhaps Evergreen wouldn't have had their own way on a lot of things, but give them credit, a strong team up front and a team that was able to get into the Tiger backfield often enough to pretty much stymie most of the Tigers' offense.
Yeah, this probably has been the best Evergreen team I can remember for a lot of years, Spike.
All right, hard kickoff. End over end, taken there at the 15-yard line. They try to go around the other way. A lot of running room. Oh, my. Well, they're going to try to run him down, and Jesse Jones, you're right. The man who just scored the big touchdown down there and saves a touchdown for Liberty Center.
You know, that's got
a matter of pride, Jimmy.
Exactly. That's got to be a good feeling for Jesse Jones. That's a guy that hadn't played football his whole career here at Liberty Center Schools, but he thought, you know what, I want to do that. That looks like fun. Yeah, I'm going out there. And he's made his mark here tonight. Yes, Jesse Jones.
A play made by a senior. You're right, Jim, who has to fight for playing time, and that time showed the crowd what he was capable of on 2 successive plays. All right, 12 seconds to go, 40-21, Evergreen. Tigers need to put the whamps on them just about a couple more times. Try to preserve this rally.
Oh, yeah, these men in black out there are going to do everything they can to keep that goal line at their backs from getting crossed again by the Vikings. But the Vikings, indeed, Spike, preseason were rated as one of the premier teams in the NWOAL, and they haven't given any indication that they didn't deserve that. They've played well. They just seem to have an answer for whatever the Tigers wanted to do, and then were able to execute when they got their hands on the ball. Second-year head coach Pekin over there is got himself a fine football team.
All right, now the Vikings, after being penalized 5 yards, I imagine, for a delay. They come to the line of scrimmage, and the Vikings showing a little good sportsmanship there. They down the football, and that'll be the end of the ball game. A game worked on momentum. Tigers with a few key turnovers, and Evergreen taking quick advantage. The difference in this one. I'll tell you what, we'll be back with some final statistical stuff here from our squad upstairs, and we'll give the final wrap up then. Stat wrap up here as we check things out as the crowd pretty much is filed out here at Tiger Stadium. Okay, time of possession tightened up a little bit. Evergreen with a slight edge, 25 minutes to 23 for Liberty Center. Tigers came back in the second half with a better showing in the first down department. Evergreen with a total of 14 first downs, Liberty Center 11. But here's a big difference in the ball game. Rushes were about even. Liberty Center with 46, Evergreen with 44, but Evergreen with 192 yards on the ground, Liberty with 108. So the Tigers come out of there with about 2.5 yards a carry, and Evergreen comes out of there with about 4.8 yards per carry. Passing, the Tigers only 2 of 14 for 34 yards. Evergreen with only one pass in the second half. They were 4 of 7 altogether for 63 yards. So the final offensive stats look this way. Liberty Center ran 60 plays, picking up 142 yards. So there again, about 2.5 yards a play. Evergreen, on the other hand, outgained Liberty Center 255 yards on 50 plays. 51 plays for about 5 yards a play, doubling the Tigers' effort. Liberty Center with 4 interceptions, a couple of tough breaks there on a tip, and then the quarterback hit on another one. Evergreen with 1 fumble and 1 INT. Penalties, about even. Liberty Center 4 for 27, Evergreen 5 for 37. Leading tacklers for Liberty Center tonight. Some good efforts here. Tate Slee and McClory with 9 apiece. Weekers with 8. We had, let me dig down in here. We've got Damian Mays with 6. We've got Perchlick with 6. And we've got Danny Irving with 6 for Liberty Center. Chipping in with 5 were Kyle Hesterman and also Joe Bodenbender with 5. Derek Hefflinger had 3 in the first half. I believe was injured. We didn't see, I don't believe we saw him at all in the second half. And so then going to the scoring for Liberty Center, Tate Slee from 8 yards out at the 8:15 mark in the first period. And then it was Tate Slee again with 45 seconds remaining in the third period from 15 yards out. And then on a great catch in the end zone, all alone, Jesse Jones, a senior, 24 yards out, and that with 23 seconds left in the game. So your final one more time, Evergreen 40, Liberty Center 21, but 3 turnovers, Jim, really set Evergreen up for some quick scores. They're one late in the first half, and then they came right back with 2 more. And the Tigers just had no way to counter that job.
Yeah, Spike, they seem to be able to, when a Tiger defense would kind of get them stalled out, and they had 3rd and long, they seem to be able to convert. I mean, their play selection, just tonight seemed to be the answer. But I think if you sum it all up, it was Evergreen having 17 returning lettermen, and the Tigers doing it with, 9, I understand, or at least 9 upperclassmen in there that had experience enough to letter, and then a bunch of sophomores that really have not had a lot of action against upperclassmen. This is a good Evergreen football team. But the Tiger reserves got in there when playing against the Evergreen reserves more than held their own. A lot of youth got a lot of work tonight in the later stages of the game. But you're right, turnovers is just a difficult thing, and maybe a few calls didn't go our way. But the Evergreen Vikings hadn't beaten Liberty Center in 6 years, but they were picked to be pretty good, and they've showed us, I think, tonight that they are a good football team. Yeah, another night, another month, another week. Who knows? I think the Tigers could, the final score could have been a lot different. But that's the way it goes. You play one time and you go with the breaks, and things tonight went Evergreen's way. Albeit, like you said, a good football team, but I'm not so sure Liberty Center doesn't have a little bit up their sleeve yet for later on down the year as they continue to gain experience. No question, Spike. The Tigers, we've got to play them one game at a time, and there'll be some fresh wrinkles come forward, especially after getting a look at some of these younger players there. And, they'll do some things to enhance their efforts on offense and maybe try to gamble a little more on defense. Yep. Well, Tigers record now at 1-2, Evergreen at 2-1. It doesn't get any easier for Liberty Center as they will travel to our friends to the south, down County Road 7, the Patrick Henry Patriots.
And then Evergreen now, of course, will get a chance here in a week or two. They'll go up and battle the Patriots as well.
Patriots.
So I think now the varsity has to just tell themselves, hey, this season is a long way from over, and we're going to take some personal pride and show what it means to be a member of a Liberty Center Tiger football team.
Exactly. The seniors have got to lead, Spike. They've got to lead, and they've got to encourage these young people that haven't had a lot of battle experience. Hey, follow us. This is what we're going to do. This is how you do it. And I think there was experience gained tonight by the reserve team that's going to play well as we look at the weeks ahead.
All right. Well, with that in mind, we'll close her down here from Liberty Center. Your final score, the Evergreen Vikings 40, Liberty Center 21. And even in the toughness tonight, it's still good night and good Liberty Center sports.
Well, we've got a timeout, Liberty Center. I tell you what, we're going to find out when we come back. The score 14-13 in the overtime, and we'll see what Rex Lingman decides to do.
We give it to Slee. Was it Slee?
Oh, Jim, we're going to find out in a few seconds here. I don't think they should check our blood pressure.
Nobody's taking a breath up here in the press box. You look over at the Tigers, at the fans, and they were just yelling and carrying on. People are biting their nails. What do you do, Tom? You going to roll the dice?
No, he's going to call another timeout. He's going to call another timeout and think about it.
Oh, man.
I got a feeling, Jim, the way it's going here, I just have a feeling he's going for two.
I think so. I bet he'll go for two, and I'll even bet you that they score two.
Okay, that's what we want to hear. Okay, we'll be back here. Score 14-13, and we're waiting for the conversion from Liberty Center to see if they're going to try to tie it. Well, that was the second timeout. We're going to find out. I think they're going to go for two, so 14-13. The clock has no time on it, Jim.
All right, Tom,
you know, conversion.
How about a naked bootleg by Tip Lady?
No, now Montpelier called a timeout.
All right, how many timeouts you get in overtime?
I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what. This must be a basketball game.
Two apiece, huh?
We'll be right back. Yeah, I think we got this football game's turned into a basketball game. Montpelier called a timeout there to see what kind of formation Liberty Center was coming out with. Liberty Center's coming out with the same formation.
All right.
Okay, here we go. 14-13. This is it. Hand off to Slee up the middle. They stopped him. Slee ended up just short of the goal line. Montpelier stopped him. Montpelier wins 14-13. You got to give Rex credit. He went for two. He went for the win.
Yeah, in our angle here, we can't tell how close he got, but for all the times we've seen Tate Slee pack that mail, that had to be the call.
Yes, it did.
That had to be the call.
Yes, it did.
Looked as if, he's going to be there, but the officials had a good look at it. They were right there on the goal line, and if Montpelier ever got tough, it was on that one play.
Well, Jim, everybody got their money's worth tonight. We have never seen an overtime game on TV5. We just saw it. Even though it ended up on the wrong side for Liberty, got to give Montpelier credit. They come back in the second half, did what they had to do, and then in overtime, they scored on the first play in overtime, and that set the tone. But Liberty had the chance, and they decided to go for two, go for the win and not the tie.
Yeah, well, and you like that thought, you know, like you were saying earlier, a kicker is a relative rookie to the kicking program there, and why not go for that too? In fact, all night long, that offensive thrust on the run was able to get yards. We got yards going this direction, we got yards going in that direction. Once in a while, we shot ourselves in the foot with a fumble, a penalty, a turnover per se, but always we could get yards. I don't know if we were ever stopped on a 4th down, you know, when we rushed the ball. Is it, Tom, can you remember that
I
here
don't
tonight?
remember that. Not right offhand, I do
But
not.
anyway, Montpelier comes up big. They gambled and they assumed, all right, we're selling out for run, and they had her all stacked up there, and well, they got her done.
It's a jubilant Montpelier team. They go 2-0 now, 1-0 in the league, and they kind of figured they needed that because they're going to go to Big Red Country next weekend to Patrick Henry. They're going to get tested big time.
Yeah.
Liberty Center, on the other hand, drops to 1-1, 0-1 in the league, and they have they got a big test next week too. Evergreen comes to Liberty Center. We're going to find out how really good Evergreen is. I don't know how they did tonight against Delta, but they're a much improved team.
Yeah, well, what a struggle here tonight at Locomotive Field, and you know, looks as though Tigers should have had some more points there early in the game, but somehow or other it didn't work out that way, and it made it all the way to overtime. And as you say, Locomotives with a big pass play, their first snap of the overtime was able to score, and then they had their kicking program convert. And
well, Jim, I guess it should have, would have, could have, but reality is they snapped the 11-game winning streak of the Liberty Center Tigers, and they also, the 81st meeting of these two teams, they evened the series back up again. 39 wins apiece and 3 ties. So
that's just
we're
about
back even again.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We don't have much more to say here, so we're going to sign off unless you have anything else to say. We're going to call it Montpelier defeats Liberty Center tonight, 14-13 in overtime. And, well, next week, Mr. Whitman will be back, and you'll be back in the saddle with your old partner. So thank you for putting up with me, and you only called me Spike once, so that's a good night. Twice. Landis says twice.
All right, pleasure doing the game with you here, Tom. And we would have liked the Tigers to come out victorious, but it's high school football, and I tell you, the boys fought a war out there, and they'll have to lick their wounds and do it again next week.
It's one thing about high school football. They leave it all out on the field. Win or lose, they try as hard as they can. And believe me, they don't get paid anything, so... Okay, so we're going to say goodbye here for TV5 in Montpelier tonight, where again this final score, Montpelier beats Liberty Center 14-13 in overtime. So we'll see you next week.